Okay. Auf den Grund von der Nacht hat sie ungehört Temp Asumne wie von Vetter Gewein von einem Mannsbill. So at, uh, at the background of the night, on the background of the night, there was heard a dull, mournful, sobbing cry of a man. Boo, 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 boo. Zabber, der Milners Haus, ist dagestanden präzis abgesondert, mit der heuchen Planken herumgenommen, geglotzt mit die weiße Frontladens und der Nachterein und
in der Nachterein.
In der Nachterein und gemurrt dem größten gedächtlichten Gannig. Die eingeschlafene Negiddigkeit hat Rabbi Israel dem Balagola ein bisschen abgeschrocken. Hat abgesifzt und Pavolle reingesteckt dem ungekollneten Kopf in finsteren Beut. Okay, so Zava, the miller's house stood British, aristocratically set aside with a high fence around it. And as if the lodens, the shutters were staring out, the white shutters were staring out into the night, gloomily in the towards the large covered Ganek veranda, porch, yeah. The sleepy wealth.
Yeah.
Almost frightened Yisrael, the Balagola. So he sighed softly and stuck his head into the dark carriage. Chanela, Efsche wollt fortgewen gleiche zuzufahren auf Frierzeit, der Mummen deiner, soll sie besser zu wissen geben, ot dem do. So he says to her, Chanela, perhaps it would have been a better idea to go first to your aunt, that she would know better what to do, and perhaps...
Sie soll besser zu wissen geben. She should better notify, zu wissen geben. She should better notify Zave, not us. But, you know, let's perhaps send Kune to tell Zave that we're here. Zu wissen geben. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, thank you. Nein. Okay. Hat sich das schwache Weiberschkoll zerknicket. So she said, no. The words zerknicket, I couldn't find that.
I want to say something about words. Okay. I cannot find many words as well, and I'm gonna get more sophisticated dictionaries than those that I have. But I don't know who of you tried to acquire a foreign language. Like I tried with English, and I know that when I was studying English, and really it was such a strong desire of mine to know the language that I did everything they told me to do. And my English teachers told me not to look in the dictionary when I read. I should try and learn the meanings of words out of context and just read, because looking in the dictionary all the time takes away from the pleasure of reading and enjoying the story.
Absolutely right.
This is
yeah,
true.
and then and you're giving me compliments about my English. I I started thinking back many years ago, and many years ago, after I got my degree in English, I also took courses that prepared people to teach English as a foreign language in Israel. And in that course, they told us to tell students not to look in the dictionary. And I guess this has been my habit. I forgot already what they told me, but it's always been my habit not to look in the dictionary. If I had looked for English words in the dictionary to this year, I wouldn't have known English. You know, it's very tiresome. And that's what I do with Yiddish too. I first read the story and I try to understand as much as I can without a dictionary completely. Then I go to it another day and I work on words that I choose to work on, but not on every word, because we can never finish it that way. Okay, but go ahead.
But when you have a sentence where of 10 words and 5 of them you don't understand because they're Slavic words or whatever, then you have to go to the dictionary to be able to understand what the sentence says.
Yeah, as much as you can. There's so many foreign words in Yiddish.
But you know that it says schwach weiberisch kol, so you know already.
Yeah.
No, I'm curious though, how you would characterize, or how you would characterize or sort of define or describe his language. You know, when you read, like if you read Bashevis, and there's you know, he'll use 10 words, 10 synonyms, and there's a richness. How would you have much more experience with reading Yiddish than I have, how would you characterize his language? Would you say
Nechama, are you directing the question to me?
Yeah, yes, because I think that you, well,
I think that his language is more sophisticated than other Yiddish writers. It also includes a lot of Hebrew, Aramaic, and even even when he just uses pure Yiddish, he plays around with the words.
Right. That's what you were saying last week that really struck me. There was a word, I don't remember the word, but you pointed out and it was very illuminating for me, was that what he did was he took the word, it was Dish, I think it was, and he played with it. He put in a prefix, and there was a suffix, and there was, he dresses up the language a lot. I think.
This is to answer your question some more.
Mm-hmm.
There was one particular sentence here on this page. We didn't get to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get there. Okay, he takes. We'll get. I don't see it now, but I remember it.
Yeah.
The what he does with the word balegole.
Mm-hmm.
We will come to a sentence where he says he takes the word balegole, which is a noun, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he turns it to an adjective.
Mm-hmm.
Sein balegolische Pelze, balegolische.
Right.
It's descriptive.
I don't even know how to translate it into balegolische clothing.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the word balegole and which is a noun, and he turns it into an adjective. He's playing a lot with parts of speech.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see the sentence when we get there. It's unbelievable how he plays around with words. And I think, I don't know for sure, I'm not an expert, but I studied some, but I'm not an expert. I think that the Lithuanian writers are more sophisticated, and he is one. It's he and also Chaim Grade.
Mm-hmm.
Let's read for now, okay? I want you to see the balegolische, how he turns the word balegole into balegolische. All right, Yankel, continue.
Okay, so Chanela says, no, with her schwach weiberisch Kohl. Sie wird mich hargenen. Sie wird mich auf den Schwell nicht auflösen. Sie wird...
Yeah.
So she says, no, she can't go to her aunt. She'll kill her. She won't even allow her onto the threshold of the house. And so the Balagola answers, Schlecht zit Reb Yisrael ois a versorgte. A ganze...
No, a versorgte.
A versorgte.
Yeah, okay.
A ganze Konföderatie kann da werden. Gefällt Reb Yisraelen a klopot. So he's not very happy with her answer, and he believes he's worried about the whole situation. There can be a whole bust up from this whole thing, and he doesn't like the hassle of it.
Yeah.
Still gewein Onwärter hat ihm abgeantwortet. Das Mal ist das a Kind, was...
No, you skip the line.
Sorry. Das Mal ist das gewesen ausgemischt mit einem modernen Miavken. Nicht von einer Katz, nicht von einem Kind, was krimmt noch eine Katz. So, a quiet cry without cry without words, answered him. This time, it was like a strange meowing, not of a cat and not of a child who is imitating a cat.
Right. And what is it?
It's, I don't think it's the baby. Or is it the baby?
I think it's a baby.
You think it's a baby? I thought it was.
Yeah, it's like a meow, but it's not a meow, but and it's not a child that imitates a cat. And her cry, Hannah's cry, is mixed with that sound. I think it's the baby. I think this is the introduction to the baby.
I agree with I was with Yankov. I thought it was Hanala's cry. I didn't have any idea that it was the child that we were meeting.
Hanala.
Okay. Let's leave it at that. It's not that. I feel now that I am more familiar with the story than I was before. I feel that it's the baby, but it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Let's read further and we'll see.
Okay. Nu vergabt sich der Balagola. Ich will schön gehen, ich will schön trasken. Und weißt du, Hannele, auf gewiss, als der Stubiker seine Nito, so Yisrael, the Balagola says, okay, I'll go and I'll knock on the shutter. And do you know for sure that the people of the house are not there? And she answers him, is alleen, glippert men im Boyd. Is gewiss alleen. And she says to him, yes, he's alone. He certainly is alone. Und übrigens, sich watte wird sich plötzlich Reb Yisrael, Shanaven im Efscher, in seinen Taten, wer es hat verkocht, der soll glioben. Welche Fenster sagst du? So the Balagola answers, perhaps we should just give the Zava a bit of respect, perhaps.
What is Ibericness? Like Iber the
Iberic. Okay, Ibericus is the rest of them, the Iberique, and
the rest of the family,
and the rest of the household.
Okay. The others. Yeah.
The others, yeah.
In the house, yeah. In seinen Taten, so he's almost cursing him.
Yeah.
Who's caused this whole business? That person who caused the whole problem, he should knock. And which window do you say?
Yeah. What I see in this
I don't understand that paragraph. Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, what I understand in this paragraph is that Hanele is trying to prevent him from approaching Zave, from talking to Zave, and he moves ahead. And when he says to him, Shaneven im Efsher, should we spare him? Should we try to save him?
I see.
Oh no. Oh no, we shouldn't try to, he kind of is critical of Hanele's approach. You want to spare him. You don't want to approach him. In sein Taten, he's cursing him.
What kind of a curse is Taten? What that's in sein Taten in your father's?
In sein Taten, they say in Yiddish, that's what I heard, in my kind of Yiddish, in sein Taten rein. There is a similar curse in Arabic that I remembered when I saw this. I thought Kohala would be here for the Arabic. In Al Aviv, Nechama, you haven't been in Israel probably long enough to hear it.
No,
it
not
in
like,
that kind.
Yeah, but it means like in your father's father. It's like so it should. There's no way that's going to be. That's not going to be in your father's father.
Yeah. Actually, I had my parents say it, but I never bothered to understand really what it means.
Well, what you don't say is assumed, because in sein Taten tells the whole story, but it's definitely a curse. So let's.
It is a curse, yeah. And he who cooked should swallow it, should have it. It's him, Zave, to be blamed. Okay, Yankov, continue.
Okay. Ot dorten weist on a groeie zitterdicke Henschke von Boida Reus. Das zweite noch ein Ganek sind Roche hat sich weggelegt. Sie liegt schon itzte gut, gleiche Farim. Für ihr.
Ja.
Sind dämmelt, schläft in Esszimmer. Also, in Esszimmer drichniet gar. To wart auf a Walitschke. Ja, moid, Rabbi Zava.
Yeah, getting an aliyah.
Okay, so there.
Like you.
A trembling, gloved hand showed him, pointed from the carriage. The second one after the porch. Since Rocha was laid to rest, and the Balagola answers, "Sie liegt schon itzte gut." She's okay. She's lying well, better than him.
It's not like, I'm sorry, I want to say something. Since Rocha that is since she got sick. Okay, since she got sick, so he is in the dining room. Okay, it's not since she passed away. Since she went into the bed. And then the Balagola said, "The lecture is so good. Now she lies well. Gleicher for ihr. It's better for her. It's better for her to be dead than to have a life like this with him. It's better for her that she is dead and she doesn't experience what is going on."
Right. You're
okay.
100% right. Yeah. So since
okay. It is just that I read it more times than you, Yankel. So
okay.
That's why you're here, Rachel. You don't
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
apologize.
Okay.
Okay, so since that time, he sleeps in the dining room. Is that so? Says Rabbi Yisrael. And he snoozes in the dining room.
Yeah.
So wait a while, and then he says, and Ya'amod Rabbi Zava.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to say that what I noticed now reading it again, the difference in reaction of a man and a woman to this event of Hanele being pregnant and then having a child. Look at Kune. Kune called her Nafke. Kune is angry at her, and the Balagola is angry at him. The Balagola. This is kind of funny. Kune was not angry at Zave much.
Well, she was angry enough. So she went to the mill and said she didn't want any more money, and she gave him a good laying out.
Yeah, that's right. But that was only first she took the money from him, and twice, and then she went and told him she didn't want to have anything to do with it after Leibich went crazy.
Yeah.
And screamed, and the whole town heard. Mm-hmm. Then she didn't want to have anything to do with it. It was because of the reaction of the surroundings that she told him she didn't want to have anything to do with him, and because of her son. But her first reaction to Hanele's pregnancy was Hanele is enough. That's it. Mm-hmm. A kosher kind einfach nicht so, you know. It was Hanele's fault mainly, and now Kune's husband said, "Oh, Alpidin, he has to marry her." Mm-hmm. He was upset with him, but and now we see the Balegole also. The Balegole is very angry. Look at the men, how angry they are. Okay, let's go on. Janke.
Okay. Hastig habt Rabbi Israel zurückgereist das Beitsteckel von Gartel und burschendick und tuppendick mit breiter, ballederter Wollikes tritt zum ungewiesenen Fenster. Das zweite Fenster noch ein Gannig. So quickly, Reb Yisrael takes the whip out of his gartel and grumbling and stamping with his broad leather felt boots. He stepped towards the window that had been pointed out, the second window from the porch. Hebt auf schwere Beitsteckel a Trask zu tun, nur in dem letzten Regler halt sich op und peikelt in Loden gar still mit a Nogel von Finger, tuk tuk tuk. So he lifted the stick of the whip in order to hit the window, the shutter, but at the last moment he drummed the shutter quite softly with the nail of his finger, and that's the sound. Tuk tuk tuk.
Thank you, Janke.
So he's a little intimidated himself.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, that's right.
intimidated.
Right, Nechama. To further answer your question about the language,
Mm-hmm.
knowing them letzten regale. Rega. See, this is what Litvaks are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Rega is Hebrew. You know the moment.
Right, right.
And now he makes it regale. He makes the diminutive.
Mm-hmm.
A moment, a little moment. The regale. That kind of language. Everything with the le. A violinkele, a regale. Okay, Goldale, you want to continue?
Yes, a violet water. I feel a kind shark hört nicht. Hört noch wie das Herz klappt im unter alle gallische Pelzen.
There
That's
it
what
is.
you meant.
That's what, yeah, Balegolish,
Okay.
yeah.
Get a Wurst beim Sammerladen. Reb Zava, der schläft. A while, he waits a while, and then he doesn't hear a sound. He only hears his heart beating under his furs to keep him warm. He only he just gives a big bang on the shutter and calls out, Reb Zava, are you sleeping? Und hat schon the day starker ersetzt kann. And he even gives a harder, a louder bang. No, has payet scheinet. Der hält hinter sich a der Glenish und dreht dem Kopf. But he doesn't continue because he hears behind him a sound, and he turns his head around. Ja, hinter der Tür von Ganek regelt Emmett Ganeva still, because on the porch behind, someone is circling with a like a bandit, very quiet. A Kliamke get a Klimper. A halbe Tier spalt sich auf still und auf dem Gange kriegt er raus a breite, schweigende Gestalt und a Futter an a Hittel mit greue zerploschete Haar und mit a greue zerwachsene Bord und mit dunkle Flecken anstatt Augen. Okay, now behind the door of the porch, somebody opens the doorknob.
Yeah.
And a half of the door opens. The door opens quietly, so it's only half open, and still quiet. And on the porch, someone creeps out, a big, quiet, schweigendicker, quiet Gestalt personage with a footer with a big coat, without a hat, with gray crumpled hair, messed up hair, and with a gray beard that's gewachsen. It's not kempt, the beard. It's all over the place, and with dark spots instead of eyes. A Hand fachet. A still sieden zwischen verschirrte Zehen, vorend Bett sich. A hand mifachet. It's like a fan.
Right.
The hand is moving, and
Yeah.
quietly between between his teeth, he warns and practically begs, shh. In der verälterter Gestalt hat Yisrael del Balagola kein der Kentzava dem Milner. And in that quiet personage, Yisrael, the Balagala, almost recognized Sava the Milner.
Right.
I think it means the
Van
aged, the aged.
älterte,
He aged,
like
he had aged.
aging. All of a sudden, is geworden älter.
Yeah.
Verälterte in this
He's
Well,
only
aging
50.
image.
He's
Dann
only 50.
etliche Wochen on, Sava lebt nicht.
Okay.
Dann etliche Wochen, Sava lebt nicht auf der Welt. Sie heißt Leben lebt er ja. Nur der Tod ist geringer als all Leben. Several weeks have passed, and Sava is not living in this world. It means that he's living. Yes, he's living, but death would be easier than the kind of life he had. Mit etliche Wochen zurück ist keiner die Tochter gekommen zu laufen, die abbeißeriert auf der Mill und zum letzten Mal gestrascht ihm, als mit dem Mamser nach dem Abhaben will sie kein Essig nicht haben. Several weeks ago, the Tucker came running to the mill like a wild animal, and the last time she stressed him, she told him off that with the I don't like to use the word mamzer.
Yeah, this is the first time we see this word here.
Okay.
Yeah.
But with the mamzer, after the birth, she doesn't want to have anything to do with him.
Can I just ask one question? The word gestrascht.
Yeah, that's threaten.
It's like a warning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She
The
threatened
Nafka,
him. Yeah. Warned him. Yeah.
The Nafka, the harlot, is not going to ever pass her threshold. She's not going to allow it. Seitens kommen einige allein, and she's going to come alone.
She wants to have. Yeah, unless she wants to have nothing to do with her unless she comes alone. That means without her baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Zava allein ton was will. With the baby, Zava should be permitted to do whatever he wants with the baby. Sie wird euch sich kein Blut nicht nehmen. She's not going to accept anything other than that. He's going to have to make a decision. See nicht. Is he listening? Does he hear it? Or doesn't he hear it? Mag sich richten Zeit auf a Shelach Manis she's not going to allow any blood. That's the way it's going to be, the way she said. And whether he's listening or he doesn't listening, he can make everything right during Purim when he gives a Shelach Manis.
may I? What she's saying, she knows. She counts the months. She knows when the baby is to arrive. So she was telling him that he may get ready for around Purim. Get ready for a Shalach Mones. The Shalach Mones is the new arrival.
Is the baby.
The baby is the Shalach
I
Mones.
understand. Right.
Okay.
Rappe hat bei der Tockerte geschlagen von Meil. Rappe. Now, is that another person?
No,
Rappe?
No.
Froth, like froth coming in. She's
okay.
talking, and everything is going, and the mouth is frothing.
Oh, okay. Hat bei der Tockerte geschlagen von Meil. Okay, I understand. She was frothing from her mouth. Als ze wilde het, had sie keinmal nicht gesehen. He never saw her as wild as that time. Kein Geld hat sie euch mehr nicht gewollt nehmen. There's no amount of money that she would accept. Hat mit Gewalt geprüft, reinstoppen, hier in dem Wurzeldecken, Händler, an Apotheken. Hat sie schier die Nichte nicht genommen. He tried to put money in her hand, but unwillingly, but she would not accept it. Zu hat sie sich genommen speien. She spit out twice. Leibitschke, mein Sohn will ihr trippene Geld afille nicht anrühren. Her son, the supposed chassan, doesn't even want to touch any of his money. Zum ersten Mal hat sie Tage a Schleider getan, die etliche Papierene Assignatius und rausgelaufen. At the beginning, at the first time, she allowed the paper notes in her hand and ran out. Amelika Steib is noch geblieben stehen nach ihr. But she ran out so fast that there was only dust that remained after she left.
Yeah.
Sin Demos is Zava kein einzige Nacht nicht geschlafen. Since that time, Zava did not sleep an entire night. Hat gewusst, as is der Sof. He understood that it was the end. Die Harpe foxed on the Geschwier. The Harpe is growing on him like a cancer. It just grows. Und nicht heint morgen wird es platzen. And either today or tomorrow it's gonna burst. Nicht heint morgen wird ihm das Peckel ankommen von dort. Not today or tomorrow, the Peckel, which is the baby, is gonna come, is gonna arrive. Die Tockerte hat das ganz deutlich gegeben zu verstehen und mehr austeilen sich mit ihr ist nicht gewinn möglich. The Tucker's wife told him very clearly to understand, and she would not allow any discussion about it. And to discuss it with her was like falling on deaf ears. Nothing was going to happen. She would not listen. It was not possible. Mehr auf der
Ja.
Mill ist sie nicht gegangen. She never went to the mill again. Eis behalten sich von ihm. She hid from him. Hat Zava geprüft, verfehlen a Schmues mit dem Tucker. So Zava tried to have a discussion with the Tucker. Abgeworfen von sich dem balabotischen Hanna und nachgegangen Getchen einmal a Shabbos zur Nacht. But he wouldn't listen, and he just threw off the honor of his boss, and the boss went after Getchen one time after a Shabbos. It's Shabbos night, which means after shul. Wird von sich ein Hemd austan, nur mit Chanelin muss man dann machen a talk. You have to understand that he might be able to take off a shirt, but with Chanela, he has to make, I don't know what a talk is.
Okay, a talk is an arrangement.
Okay.
We have to make an arrangement with Hannele. She shouldn't come here anymore.
She
shouldn't come here.
Okay. But then they'll talk
And,
off. Do you
yeah.
want me to read more, or do you want?
Yeah. Go on. Go. Golele, you read beautifully.
Hatem der Taka a Phila Nicholas Eisreden sich a biscuit soft. But the Taka wouldn't even let him finish until the end. Had noch a Sup getan mit der Bull bewaten Naz und übergeschlagen. Ich misch mich nicht mehr in dem. Rette mit keinen. He wouldn't even allow any kind of talk. And he interrupted him and told him that he doesn't mix in with whatever with all of this, that he has to speak with keinen. Und weg on a gute Woche zu sagen. And he even left without wishing him a good week. Okay.
Yeah. I want to say about wird von sich ein Hemd auston, the way I understand it, he is willing to take his shirt off his back. That is, he's willing to give everything in the world. That, again, he's offering money. I would give you anything. I would give the last shirt off of my back, but with Hanele, we must make an arrangement. She shouldn't come here. And for that, I, Zava, am willing to pay for that arrangement.
That son of a
Okay,
bitch.
Godale, you want to read more?
Okay, if you want me to. Der Mensch, was trennt sich, hat Zava in sein Einsamkeit gemacht, verzweifelte Anstrengungen zu raten, was man kann. And as a person that overdrinks, Zava, with his loneliness and with his disorientation, he tried to save whatever he could. Die erwachsene Töchter sollen Gott nicht bekommen als Schelach Mannes, like the hen, that his daughters should not get that kind of a gift and to receive it in their hands. Der Beniochi soll nicht ausluppen, die chutzpedicke Augen seine und nicht a Reis mit a Gelächter. And the Beniochi, I don't know where it went here. The Beniochi, he shouldn't run the chutzpedicke, the chutzpah, his eyes that were unforgiving and angry.
Open wide.
I'm sorry, what was that, Yankev?
To open his eyes in a wide-eyed surprise.
Also chutzpah, with chutzpah, with disgust, with disrespect, with disrespect. His disrespectful eyes.
Yep.
This is, he's talking about how the sun, I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, that's his fear. He's afraid of what is going to happen now. That his kids will. Yeah.
Hard to do. Das hast du go. And that's it.
Yeah.
Now it's Nechama's turn.
Okay. So
thank you,
see the relationship, this family, this way he feels about his Ben Yochid, that the son is going to laugh at him. Hat Zava genommen verstoppen alle Sparonikes mit Geld. So now Java tries to stuff all the holes, all the little crevices, everything that he can with money. Derweil hat das noch gehat a Sinn. Meanwhile, this seemed to have a purpose. Derweil seien noch die Sparenkes gewein klein. Meanwhile, the little holes are small. Gezählte Menschen haben gewusst dem Sod. Und noch weniger. Counted people knew the story. And what does that mean? Und noch weniger. And even less haben sich.
Even less, yeah.
And even less haben sich angestoßen. And even less angestoßen. I don't know what that means.
I took an interest.
Oh, took an interest. Kodem Koil hat dem Tachshit seinen weggeschickt von de Eugen. The first thing he did was he sent the Tachshit, his Beniochi Moishkver, away from his eyes. He really hated that kid. Der Beniochid hat Hayul Farsukas geenget die Shklovetiker Schole. This year, this Ben Yochid of his had, before Sukkot, finished the school in Shklove. To soll sich weiter lernen privat in Moliv und soll sich Tage dorten auf an Ort herumsehen, sie kann nicht ankommen in Gymnasia. So let him try, well, I'm going to go back to it. So let him try to learn privately in Molahiv. That's the city where Rocha was hospitalized. That's, I guess, the capital of White Russia, or a big city there. And he would see there if he can get into a high school, into a gymnasia. Es hat sich ihm doch allemal geglust, anzutun, a gymnasistisch Hitler mit a silberner Kokelder. Is ot, lamir sein, sie ken das der Weisen sie nicht. Always, he wanted, when he lusted to put on, or he wanted to put on the little gymnasia hat with a silver, I guess some kind of decoration. So now, let's see if he can make it there or not. Der noch hat Zave eingerät, die gewachsene Töchter, sie sollen sich durchführen. Auf etliche Wochen came Vitebsk zu der Mishpocha von der verstorbenen Mammen. And after that, he taught the grown daughters that they should sort of travel themselves out a little bit, go out a bit for a few weeks to Vitebsk, to the family of their dead mother, their deceased mother. Nur in der Fremd und nur bei neunter Kroven wollen sie von sich öfter abtreißeln die Moreschore. Only in the outside, only in the friend with the strange people, and only with close relatives would they be able to perhaps comfort themselves from their black mood, their Moirish in der Heim, wo der Mammes Schotten toiliert sich noch zu jedem Winkele und zu jedem Kleiderhänger, wollen sie keinmal nicht kommen zu sich. Here in the house, where the mother's shadow, the mother's ghost, travels around in every corner and in every small hanger. What is that? Like closet?
Hanger.
Clothes hanger.
Clothes
Hanger? Okay. Will they...
That's English.
Well, yeah, Kleiderhanger. Clothes hanger. That's right. Will they come to themselves? Vor Taten, sollen sie sich was weniger sorgen. For him, for the Tata, let them worry a little bit less. Is a Mannsbill, und mehr Koach fall sie beiden hat euch. He is, after all, a man, and more koach, more strength than he has more koach. He has more koach than the two of them, more strength than the two of them. Die alte, behavente Kirchen kennt das ganze Balabatischkeit besser versehen. The old, is behavente blind? What is behavente? The behavente cook. She can, say again?
Experienced.
Experience. Hand, behavente Kirchen. The old experienced cook can do the whole housekeeping better than they. For ihm allein is sie ganz genug. For him alone, her work will be very fine. Hem agav, azoi hot streng der ältere Tochter a Wunk gegeben. Der Vitebsker Vetter hat, sagt man, gerottene Sinn, und als Gott will, man kann nicht wissen. And now he gives, you have to go back a little bit, and now he gives a wink to the oldest daughter. The oldest daughters, a Wunk gegeben. The Vitebsk uncle, he hears, it is said, has a very successful son. And you know, if God wills it, we can't know. So maybe a match will come out of this. Azoi hot Zava, in sei größte Gefallenkeit und in sein Teutschreck vor seine eigene Kinder nicht vergessen euch die praktische Seite von jeder Sache. So we see that this is what he is, that Zava, even in his lowest moment and in his death shriek, so to speak, for his own children, he hasn't forgotten the practical side of everything. So he's managed to ship them away. Geblieben einer allein in Stub, hat a bissel freie abgeatmet. Now that he's alone in the house, he breathes a little bit more freely. Dem Weibskammer hat abgeschlossen und mit der alte Kirchen ist euch durchgekommen. So the wife's room, he locks off. That's the end of that. And with the old experienced cook, he sort of came to an agreement, durchgekommen. A bissel hat ihr zu verstehen gegeben, auf den Wunk, Makoich, dem was ist mit ihm geschehen in a Bezer Shah. A little he gave her to understand with what happened to him in a bad moment. A bissel hat sie sich allein angestoßen. A little she already understood. Von dem größten Broges, was hat geherrscht zwischen Balabus und dem Balabuste, a paar Chadoshim vor ihr Teut. And a little she already understood from the terrible anger, brogus argument that ruled, that was so prominent between the Balabus and the Balabusta a few months before her death. A getreue Hals hat die Kirchen gehabt und a Matona hat sie euch gekrogen. She had a very devoted heart, this old cook, and she also got a nice gift. So
She's very loyal, yeah.
And one moment, Golda, do you know where we are?
I'm looking, but I can't find it.
We're in the middle of page 58 in the paragraph that started Geblieben einer allein in Stub. And we're about
I'm on page 64.
You're on page 64, 58, 60. In the new book's 58, in the old book's 64. Yeah.
What's the beginning of the paragraph?
Geblieben einer allein in Stub.
It's not on the screen.
Let's go down.
See, I read from my own, so I don't follow what you have.
Okay, here we are.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, right here. Okay.
Sorry.
Entschuldigt mir.
I'm sorry, I didn't, because
make sure, because
I kept looking, but I
but you gotta speak up, because you know, I wasn't.
It's okay. Usually I can find it.
Okay. All right. So she also got a nice little matana. Now I have to see where I am here. The brogus, and she had a good heart. Is mit ihr wait. So Chodoshim Toit, a getreue Hart, diese Kirchen de Krogen, is mit ihr Zavin gewein sicher. So with her, Zava was also clear and fine and finished.
He was safe with her. She wouldn't tell. She wouldn't talk.
Gedrückt haben ihm nur erzindert die.
Entschuldigt mir, is it geblieben? That's where we should be, right here, geblieben.
But we're a little bit beyond that now. Go down about. I don't want you to get lost, Marcia. Go down to where you see there's like 3 dots. Do you see there? Krogen, okay.
Yes, Krogen, right here.
Is
Krogen.
Und mit ihr Zavin gewein sicher. He's sure with her. Okay, so are you okay now, Marcia? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Gedrückt haben ihm nur erzindert die Einsamkeit, das Warten, das Sein ständig auf der Wach, die Verdachten auf alles und auf allen. What is gedrückt? This word appears afterwards often. What does that mean?
Pressured.
Pressured. What pressured him was the loneliness, the waiting, and he always had to be on the wach, on the alert. He had to worry about each little thing and everybody. Via Ruach, ungestäubt mit Mehl, hat sich herumgedreht bei Tag in der Mill und bei Nacht vergraben sich in seine Pool bewohnter Zimmern von dem abgelosten Haus. So like a wind dusted with flour. He wandered around by the day in the mill, and in the night he buried himself in the rooms from the abgeloste. Does that mean the neglected house?
Yes.
The neglected house.
Yes.
And von dorten mit verbitterter Actiones.
Actiones.
Yeah, and scharf geschickert und wie ein abgeschwachter Chaie herumgehorcht, von wannen die Harpe auf die ältere Jahren wird kommen, als das Porl wird ankommen in der Nacht. In dem ist kiemat wie gewähnt sicher. Okay, so here, in his neglected house, and from there, with his embittered stubbornness, sharp, geschick, I don't know what that is.
Check of it.
What is that?
Check of it.
I don't know what that is.
Drunk.
No, that's something else.
Chakava is curiosity, but that isn't. Is that here Chakava? From the sharp Chakava. Oi wie ein abgeschwachte Chaie, herausgehorcht von wannen de Harpe. He's worried, where will the shame come? In his
looking to see, it's like a curious, looking, curious to see.
So it is curious.
Yeah.
Chikava is curious.
Yeah, but it's a very place with the word Chikava.
There you go.
This is the language. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good example of what he does. He takes the word
and
he dresses it up.
Yeah.
And
also, talking just a second about
please.
words. Also, to further answer your question, in seine wohnte Zimmern, bewohnte. We know wohnen is to live, to reside. Bewohnte, it's another way, you know. He turned this into an adjective, and from the word wohn, he made an adjective that describes the rooms. And here, okay, go on. Sorry.
Als das Porl wird ankommen in der Nacht. In dem is kiemat wie gewähnt sicher. This pearl, this pearl. It's not. It's the pearl. That's right. The pair. You're right. Thank you. The pair.
And who's the pair?
The pair is the mother and the baby. They're going to come by night. That he's sure of. Wie Beis, de Tokotel soll nicht sein, aber inmitten hellen Tag wird sie Sach nicht wollen obtun. However angry the Tucker's wife is, in the brightness of the day, she would not do such a thing. She would not allow the poro. Thank you. I struggled with that. I didn't understand it. Thank you. Nit im, nit Chanalin Irklova, not to him and not to her relation Chanala. Und as de Pekel wird onkommen, was demmels, wegen dem hat Zava Moira gehat klar zu trachten. And when this little package is going to come in, what's going to happen then? Zava wouldn't even want to think about that. Alle Pläne haben sich geglitschet in schwarzen Tuchumerein mit ihm zusammen. All his plans were twisted up in this darkness.
Abyss. The home is abyss. ABYSS.
With him also. With him also. At that, I think we have to stop. Fantastic. But it is